Good evening, fellow traders. Welcome to another episode of the Wolf Den Trader Takeaways. I'm your host, The Wolf. It's Monday, August 19th, baby. Hopefully everyone stayed safe. Summer trading still intact. Earnings are kind of fizzing out, but scanners are heating up, baby. We got page after page of volatility. Yes, not the best setups. We'll see. Let's go over today's recap. Today we traded DPW, PSTV, and RKDA. With that, Rebecca, thank you so much. Now, here we are. We're looking at DPW, Digital Power. And you guys traded this Q4 last year, 2018. You know that this is a sympathy play to Bitcoin, Mara, DPW, Riot, Blockchain, OSTK, one of some of those names. But we have a nice little pop today. So we try to find a motive behind the move. Let's move over to the Jumbotron. Let's go ahead and look at this 3-year bad boy right here. We see right here, my eyes are drawn to 1 for 20 reverse split on 315. And then look at the volume. Now you can notice this volume right here relative to the 10-day average is 12 times normal 10-day average volume. So this is agenda volume. But in pre-market, we're going over some of the filings in the Wolf Trading Discord room, and we noticed that on 8/6/19, there's a 424 out for 5.5 million at the market. They disclosed the non-affiliate public float, and then they also, in this 424, disclosed that off of a previous 570 close, that their MVPHS was, but we went back and we noticed that they had the opportunity under IB5 or IB6 restriction to pull the 6/26/1499 close right here, which gives them a 16.1 million MVPHS, market value per publicly held shares, right? We divide that by 3, we get a 5.3, roughly 5.4 million trailing 12-month max allowance. Now the ATM is set up for 5.5 million. So that confirms this thesis as well, potentially confirms this thesis, as well as look at this pre-market volume, right? So we have about 1 million shares outstanding. We just showed you the float. And look, we're getting 100K candles pre-market, right? This thing's trading 10% of the OS in pre-market volume, right? This is agenda volume. We already looked at the 3-year chart. Trash, right? Just trashy name. So this volume right here, was deposited today. You can take a look at just how the volume was deposited. Relatively consolidative, I would say, if that's how I could explain it. But we're still sitting on top of the 744 line right here. And we have some volume deposited between 588 and 744 was the majority of the volume. Now let's just go ahead and roll over to executions, actually. Thank you. That's RKDA. Let's go to DPW. So DPW, we let this one push. We had eyes on it, right? Around 9 a.m., we were going through the filings. We decided to get in. Here's execution right here, guys. So here's executions for the day. Today we did well on passive liquidity. We had like 55 tickets. 83% passive liquidity, which we're happy about. A nice day today. We're leaning into this strength at around $8. We're giving it a chance. This is a little early, a little aggressive, but we did identify some potential dilution. So we put on some size in pre-market, not relatively large, but we put on some shares, and then we get a nice exhaustion at 9, and we trim. Here's executions right here. So we're trimming some at 790, right? 790, and then we're just kind of main focus on the order flow. So we're just watching this one. We're getting into a little bit of a rhythm here, as you can see. And then we have a nice little wedge right here. You see this pre-market wedge. Now this thing looked a little bit weak at the open. Now I was just doing some calculations in regards to these guys want to try to get rid of $5.5 million, at an average of $7 or whatever, 800 shares, just doing some basic math. Didn't appear that they had enough liquidity in pre-market to do so, especially with these guys being the catalyst itself, right? So these guys are carrying shares on the way up, right? This is all speculative information, as everything is in this video, guys. So I decided to trim some of the position right here at 745. Um, Yep, into the push. So we're reduced in size, expecting some strength, and I scaled in to pre-market high thesis right here, and we just had eyes on the order flow. Now this thing did kind of creep up a little bit. This was a little bit of an aggressive strategy, but the dilution, I added some size in a little bit early. This is a little bit aggressive, so we gave it some room. We let this one. Wick $10 comes down. We got eyes on the order flow. We're watching the sellers. We're watching the tape in relation to size, color, speed, acceleration, deacceleration, etc. We noticed some stalling here. Then we went ahead and we put our final orders in. Now I'm glad I just didn't scale this whole line. I wanted to put my larger size ads at the top on the backside, on the potential of the backside, which I did. But carrying these shares up from like 850 and then the majority of the size at $10 gave me not the best average. So I trimmed some of those shares off right around break even, just in case we did get some more strength. I can carry those up, and we did not. We got a nice little flush, and I took some nice profit here. So here's executions. Took some nice profit, and then we're coming back up. And I'm just recycling these shares. That's what we do, baby, right? We just recycle, rinse and repeat. We try to track the larger players, and we trade alongside them. And that's what we pretty much did today. We got caught a little bit early here, but there's learning to be done on this chart. I'm not saying this chart's perfect. A lot of learning to be done on this chart. And then just recycling back kind of low here, but the tape was showing indication of a crack here. And I thought that if we cracked, that we would come back down to pre-market support and beyond. And I took profit on the way down. Now I was in the midst of this battle, of this flush right here. I'm moving targets around. There's multiple targets here. Probably just me over trading, trying to be too in control of the liquidity. But in the midst of this flush, I did overfill. That's a trader error. We're making these mistakes less and less, but at this point right here, I was long 300 shares. I think this is an order for 100 right here. I think the 600. Yeah, so at this point, I was long 200, and then I caught my final target. I had lower targets, but I had to delete them. But I was long 300 shares, and my rule is to just get flat. So instead of I caught that right around here. I gave it a little bit of time, which is against my rules. And then as soon as it came down, I hit the offer and I market out the position, and I got flat. And I'll reevaluate at another level, right? So I'm not going to try to get back in here. I can get back in, on a higher level. I had an order out. 844 was where I was looking to scale beginning. 844 and up was where I was looking to catch some size. I had an 828 or 7. I had an 828 and I took it off, and then after it wicked, I added it back on, but I just didn't catch this, right? That all comes down to this error right here. And then we get a nice downtrend, and we're starting to base. We had some levels. Here's a 5-minute chart with levels that I use from the 3-year higher time frame chart. And you can see right here, I'm starting to build a small position, 650, 750, right here are my levels, 657, 707, 744. And I like these levels. I use these levels for targets. I use these levels as points of reference to zoom in on the tape and really get a good look at what's going on, in our leading indicator, time and sales, in relation to the best bid, best offer. And just building a nice little position right here. I had about a 7 or 692 average on this push, and then just unwinding the position. Shout out to some of the guys in the room who caught this as well. Bobby had quite the day on this one. Well, he was green. We'll just leave it at that. Another guys in the room catching this one short as well. And just a great atmosphere in the room today. We're just kind of collaborating on targets, on theses, on areas of interest, and just kind of a level up day for the guys in Wolf Trading. DPW, again, that was a nice win. RKDA, now, if you guys notice, we've been trading this thing since day one, taking profit. We've been extracting realized profit, realized green every day since day one. And today, we're just taking off some of the core, right? We have like a 795 core average, I believe, and we're just taking some profit off at 611. So we're excited to be in the green on the core, as well as just taking realized green off of the front. That's RKDA. And then also too, we had PSTV. PSTV is a day 2 play. Let's just go ahead and take a look at that one real quick. PSTV. So remember this micro nano float, whatever you want to call it, just had a wicked push yesterday, and this thing had a retracement of, like 36% retracement, and then it reclaims high a day. Just amazing statistical anomaly is what I call it, because I took a loss on it. But we're getting better every day. Today we just did a one bullet fade parade, and we caught it nicely. We got a partial fill at 1276. Should be around here somewhere, 1276. And we set targets out, and I kind of forgot about this one. I checked it a few times during the day, but we did get a fill, luckily, right at the bell. This was a planned target in front of the tape at 929. And those are the only 3 names on the day. We had a nice day today. Some guys in the room did as well. Shout out to you guys. Also, we had some new guys join the room as well. So shout out to you guys. If you have any questions, concerns, just hit me up. Ask some of the other members in the room. We're a growing community, and we have tons and tons of talent in the room. So with that being said, let's hop over to the Wolf Trading Discord room, and we're going to go to the runners room, aka the weapons room. Let's see what's on radar, right? We put the runners every night in the room, as long as the levels too, right? So we're putting these higher time frame levels on the charts, so you guys can compare your levels to our levels in the room. So here we are. We just went over this one. PSTV, day 2. This week sell-off, low relative volume. Look right here in relation to the day 1 volume. We're expecting downside continuation. MGEN was another low volume pop. Nice little extension right here, squeeze, and then right back down. Lets us know we have the right caliber of manipulation that we like to see, baby. And we're going to keep eyes on this one. NVAX, day 3. This one was a nice little squeeze. Day 1 here, day 2, day 3, just doing what they do best, right? They just pop at the bell, shake out the weak shorts, a little long trap down here, and then once they get the numbers that they want, we're just going to do a nice little fade. 721, and you can see this line right here, is a higher time frame decision point, or an LVN. So we expect potential continuation from this line. Now, it hasn't picked a direction yet, but this is a line of interest for us. 721, write that down. Heads up. DPW, we went over this one as well. Nice little fadey parade right here. Maybe we'll get some legs tomorrow, but I think, and this is all personal opinion, I think these guys got that $5.5 million off so they can keep the lights on, and we can keep enjoying that digital power for years to come. Yuma, man. So Yuma had, look at this thing. This thing had a nice leg. Earnings, I think they had a reverse split. They did, because then they showed negative $5.21 earnings per share, but I think it was a 12-to-1 reverse split just recently. Here's leg 1. Wave 2, and we get a nice third wave, and then look right here around 850. I was watching this right here for, was this 550 or 850? I can't see. 550. I was watching for a 550 bid hold, and then just crack. Little crack and snap. Game over. Lights out. Congratulations to the guys who caught Yuma. This was an all-day pressure cooker, and then just time to get paid. Trove just finished strong. Look at this like extended symmetrical wedge right here, if you guys can see that. And then looks like we get a nice pop above the point of control and above the base of the wedge volume. And then it looks like we sold off in the after hours, but look, low liquidity. I don't really show too much respect to that. After hours, if I'm going to respect it, I want to see volume. RKDA day 2, or not day 2, but just like day 10, but this thing is just fading. We're in the downtrend right now, and look, we didn't see too much for the first time ever. We didn't see too much manipulation to the upside. They did come back up, and I've been saying 690 is my line. We had a nice little retest right there and fade. I did not enter on this one, but if I do, I caught this one right here at 850 nice the other day. I would want to go up another level or two. So here's a normal squeeze, but with this algo, I like to go up 1, possibly 2 levels. So if I was going to enter this one, I would have liquidity up in this area right here, but we did not get it. And the algo looks like it's not on in the after hours again, as opposed, and as the same as it was Friday after hours. So potential downside continuation. You never know with this algo, man. They can just flip the switch. SLDB, last but not least. This one had a nice little, not much going on in pre-market, just kind of a slow, sneaky gap. Little gap up, sneak attack, and then boom. Look at how strong this is. Look the volume in relation to the other previous days. Look at these high volume spikes right here. Just kind of erratic volume. Lets me know that there's potential, keyword potential, for larger players. And we'll just leave it at that. But this one, this type of manipulation is what we like. And then it just went sideways. If we see another extension like we did here at the bell, that would interest us as well. Probably won't have this one on watch unless we get pre-market volume tomorrow. All right, guys, so that's it from the Wolf. Hopefully you guys had a great day. Really appreciate your ear. And if you guys want to give us a look, check us out, Wolf Trading Discord. Everyone have a great weekend. Take care.